Okay, so stand by everybody, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. Stop laughing, Melissa. This is the best boat. Oh, this is the slowest boat. This one here, it's called Sterner. Sterner, you know, is going backwards. Oh, right, okay. Anyway, well, we're going to show you one of the best boats in the fleet. This is a Swan 57. Beautiful boat, right? Called Explorer. So fast. Skippered by Captain Coconut, such a good skipper and an amazing crew. And at the moment, you won't be able to see it, but Catherine's up the top of the mast replacing halyards. But there's some always funny stories for Explorer. Always funny stories for Explorer. And the deal is that they've broken about 9 or 10 halyards to get 3/4 of the way around the world. When I did my BOC, I didn't break any halyards, right? On the first leg, they lost 4 winch handles. Now, you tell me, where do you put 4 winch handles on one leg? So, a bit of fun. But anyway, all kind of cool. And I'm just going to not talk to the crew. They're all busy. It's only a day. We're now less than 19 hours from the start, okay? Less than 19 hours. So, they're all busy, and I think they're pretty organised. So, yeah, so Swan 57, very happy to own the boat. I've got some plans for it. Well, I did have some plans for it after this race. We've got a Watton-Sea hydro generator there. It's not there at the moment. You can see the mount just on the bottom, little stainless there. So, and that works really well, but we're having a problem with the main power cable coming into the boat chafing all the time. We've got a Hydrovane wind vane on the back, which we could use for cruising. If we were cruising, it'll actually steer the boat. You can't power the boat up as much as you'd want to. There's the Hydrovane. You've got to balance the sails, but then it'll absolutely steer the boat. And we use it in this instance as a sudden emergency rudder. If we wanted to, we could get someone over the side on a line, fit the rudder to the bottom of that shaft just there, and then steer it with a little tiller at the top, and it's an emergency rudder. So that's pretty cool. We've got all the usual man overboard gear on the back, including a John Boy. You can see the little white box on the back. It's from Plastimo. There it is, just there. It's a man overboard device. You flip a lever on the other side, it pops off, and it's got flotation in there to keep someone out of the water. It's got a flag, so you know what's going on. We're a ketch rig, very traditional. It's one of the beauties of this boat. It's been one of my favourite boats for a long time. I never even aspired to own one, but they're just a beautiful design. Sparkman Stevens designed after the first Whitbread race to come up with a boat that was more modern than a Swan 65, a little bit better, and a smaller package to make it easier to enter the race. So the boat was actually designed for the Whitbread race. Makes it even more special for the Ocean Globe race. So, and we've got 2 Swan 57s, White Shadow as a cutter rig, and Explorer a ketch rig. Now, we've got the boat. I'm quite certain the boat will be doing again in 2027, so if you want a crew, you better get in touch with us, and we'll see how we go. We have a financially contributing crew, so everyone on board is actually paying a fee to be here, except Mark. He gets a free ride. But anyway, all part of the fun. So, very cool boat. We're stepping aboard, and I will try not to disturb anyone too much. There's a lot of things going on right now. So we'll, oh jeepers, yeah, that we had to put a new Morse cable on here. So there's still a bit of a junk there, but new Morse cable and controls. That's jeepers, what's all that? I've got no idea. Sometimes I don't come onto the boat because it's too depressing. But anyway, so much to do. Oh, that's encouraging. They've got the sun cover on the instruments, that timber strap across there. The original Brooks and Gate instruments are there. This boat was launched in 70, now when was it? I forget now. 78, I think it was. Yeah, 78. It's hull number 3. This was their boat show boat that helped sell the boats. Look at this. We've got 2 of Terry's coming on board with gas bottles. 2 cow ventilators here right at the back of the boat for ventilation on bits. And oh, there's Captain Mark. I'm not going to interview you, but we'll say hello, Captain Mark. We're not live. No, it's not for you for interview. This is for the boat. This is all about the boat. You're making a bit of a mess. Can you clean it all up?
Yeah, anyone would think we're heading out tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. In 19 hours or something. So anyway, keep working. Yep. I'm not here to distract you.
Okay.
So I'm just going to show
Catherine's up there.
boat. Yeah, I saw that. Yep. So that's all cool.
Yeah, the other
So walk around the cockpit. So small wheel, but it's the original style wheel for the Swan 57. Compass took a huge wallop and lost the mounts there, and you can see that little disc there in the seat. That's ready to put the emergency tiller on if they need that, and they've needed it a few times. The John Boy man overboard bits, mizzen mast here, mizzen sheet, various downhauls. These rigs were pulled out a few years back and all painted and redone. It's all very good. We made one boo-boo with the tracks. We should have put external tracks in that 1-inch slide track so we could have normal baton cars, and that was a big mistake. So when we take the rigs out for the next race, we will absolutely do that. At the moment we're running slides, so it's very tricky. But anyway, fantastic Dodger here. We've got 2 Dodgers. This is the big sheltered Dodger. You can shelter 4 people under there, a couple on each side, keep everyone away from the weather. We've got another smaller one which just goes over the companionway, so if it looks like heavy weather, this big one comes off, they take it all down, and they put the small one up, and when the storm's gone they can swap it back around again. So it has survived so far. I absolutely had some concerns about that, but never mind. So there's the Watton Sea on top of our drogue. Our drogue is a car tyre, a big radial car tyre. We've got 100 metres of very heavy warp and chain, but that would be towed and streamed out the back of the boat if we needed it. We've got a deck hatch there into the aft cabin with another Dodger on it, a little Dodger, so you can keep it open for ventilation. They'll probably use that this leg because there's going to be a lot of spray over the deck, but heat and temperature, so they'll probably, that's a 2 opening hatch. You can put the Dodger over it and angle it the other way, and it's like a huge ventilation piece. So 2 cow ventilators underneath there as well. It's got Mark's hat on it, so you'll see we've got a lot of ventilation, but you really want it. There's another 2 cow ventilators there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far, and there's another 2 up front on the centre line. So plenty of air coming through with water traps, so you can button the boat up and still get air. 2 ocean safety soulless life rafts there. Both of them are 12 man. We ended up with 12 man because we didn't know the total number of crew we were going to be on. So that was the story there. And main sheet travellers and so on. We've got amazing teak decks. These decks were put on about 15 years ago, but they were 18mm teak. So when the owner that had it previously, they had a bit of money, they put 18mm teak on it, and it's still 12mm today. And now if you put a new teak deck on, you would only get 12mm. So it's absolutely glamorous, boat. Big double opening 2-way Goyo hatch there, hydraulic vang, all the usual winches. A lot of these winches were electric, but we've disabled the electric side and just used them manually. Big boom, like these booms are pretty solid. Big boom, and traditional again. You can see that all the design and engineering of all of these fittings are the same. And what was that? What are we doing? Oh, look under the crack there. No. No, it's just an optical illusion. I thought, oh, don't tell me.
Okay, done.
No, that's all fine. Yes, okay, we'll leave that, so that's easy. All is good. A couple more hatches there. I'll tread over the sails here. We renewed the top of the sliding perspex hatch. This is a Swan design, you know, in order Swan to do this, slides across. We refurbed it. I would have preferred to put a big Goyo opening hatch there, big handles, but we decided to refurb this. Cost a bit of money, but it'll last for another, maybe 8 to 10 years. We've got the Furlex reefing gear. We put this on to the stay for us, so that was done when we bought the boat. I prefer, even on the staysail, to have a furling gear because you can get things in and out really quickly. Our outer was a Reckman, a beautiful Reckman that we lost a lot in a big squall. The furling line, this blue line here, literally got pulled out of the drum by mistake. They'd put the Genoa on we had the sails off in Cape Town, put it on again and didn't do a tight wrap. And so then when it was furled under pressure, we ran out of furling line to pull in, and there was a bit of sail out, and it kept winching, and it pulled the reefing line out. The sail spun out suddenly under great speed, and then it lost a coaming at the top of the mast on the swivel, like a little cover, and that cut the halyard. So then the swivel came down, the sail all came out of the foil, over the side, dropped into the water, going crazy, and they had to cut it down. It damaged the forestay, so it was back to Cape Town, and new forestay, new furling gear, new sail, about €17,000 in about 20 minutes. But anyway, that's part of the game, and all worked out well. No one was badly injured. We had a little cut hand on a web tear that Mark copped, and it took a few weeks to recover. but all is good. Anyway, very simple, rugged spinnaker handling gear for the poles. We've got three poles actually, 2 poles for running, 2 normal spinnaker poles there, one each side, and a shorter staysail running pole. It's the aluminium one on the outer there of those 2, so we actually have 3 poles just to make it all interesting. We've got the anchor winch there. Anchor winch is mandatory in sailor class, and part of the reason for that, sailor class and adventure class, and the reason for that is that these boats have all got anchor winches, and we didn't want people taking their winch off, right? So the only way to do that is mandate you've got to have an anchor winch. So hence, it's a strange part, lots of funny little things in the rules. We try to keep them as production boats. So that's the deal there. We've got 5 women and 5, no, we've got, how many women on the boat? 4, 5. 4 women and 5 men. Yeah, you didn't make it. We had hoped to have 7 women and 4 men, but it didn't work out that way. Yes, it's all very cool. But keep working. I'm not going to disturb you. This isn't live. It's a pre-record. Catherine's up the mast. She's been with us for a while. And Jenny there and Millie. So are you having fun?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to bring the camera around. You having fun?
Yeah,
So
we're
all
just
women are
holding on to
currently
Catherine up the mast.
all the women are currently involved with keeping it all together
Yeah.
on the mainmast, replacing another broken halyard. So
halyard.
yeah. Anyway, all good, all good. We've got Rolly Tasker sails, and they're very cool. They're super strong, super duper strong. 4-stitch seams, four stitching rows on seams and stuff like that. I've been very impressed with the sails. So Mark, incredible value for money. And for this sort of race, you've got to have Dacron anyway. There's not a lot in it. The spinnakers are beautiful, the cruising code sail is beautiful, everything about it is very cool. So that's how that works. So there's our Dodger, all pretty cool, lots of protection, and everything's looking good. Now I'm going to try and sneak down below. Yeah, with plenty of self-tailing winches back here. A very interesting feature on this particular Swan 57 is the fact that it's designed to be sailed from the cockpit. So you've got all of your winches here. Some of them have winches in the forward part here by the Dodger, and it's just not as convenient. So the helmsman can actually get involved with sheeting some things in and doing bits and pieces. So it actually works very well. So coming down below, if we're lucky, I've got to make sure I don't crash the gimbal here, because it doesn't like doing some things. Righty-o. Heading down below. Let's see what we've got. There's going to be a lot of varnish work going on down here when they get out. So okay, so here we go. Oh, Explorer's still looking pretty good. I haven't been on board. I didn't go on board in New Zealand. I haven't been on board since Cape Town. So yeah, typical Swan 57. We've got the saloon table here. That one was rebuilt for the original one we took off. That's in pristine, kept for future reference. And then we've got a new pipe cot here, so timber pipe cot there that can crank up and down if you want. That works out okay, and a settee berth underneath that. So we've got 2 people on the starboard side. Then coming across the other side here, we've got the same again, where you've got 2 people. You've got another pipe cot that was an addition, and this normal settee berth under that. So you've got 4 people here in the saloon. Then this is one of the freezers here. The big box there is a freezer. Lots of storage space in the back here. Big lockers there. Lots of healthy tinned veggies. Look at that. Ooh, very deep lockers. Timberwork's still looking okay. I'm happy to see that. So it'll be interesting to see how things recover. Looks like they're changing the battery of the clock, ship's clock. There's our Citroen teddy bear there, hanging onto the lamp, and a mandatory. Mark uses this globe exclusively for lots of different things. Work out where he is. Yeah, it's looking good. There's another addition here. We put this bulkhead in here that's removable just to hold things and act as a bit of a hanging space for wet weather gear. We've got bags in here for safety harnesses and bits and pieces. So just stuff spots. You can never have enough. So this whole bulkhead here, going back and across, is an addition that we put on and is removable. So kind of cool. Chart table is pretty straightforward. It's a typical Swan chart table, and all the usual bits and pieces. We put another little book rack there just to keep things happening, and you've got to have your HF radio waterproof, so we've got it in the box there. Keep that happening. We've got an original sailor VHF radio status symbol on Swans, sort of like their fancy toilets. the usual radar bits and pieces. We've got an original log there, but there's something gone wrong with the log impeller. We've got Navtex as well, and the satellite phone is there. There's an external antenna, telltale compass, a Plastimo hand-bearing compass, and the electricals. The electricals are all redone in 2016, as was the keel, all done over and checked and removed and re-engineered, and new paint job on the hull, on the deck, and so on. Lots of different power sources, so GPS in there as well, and yeah, nothing new to report there. So that's a very standard Swan 57 chart table. So in here, coming into the luxurious aft cabin for at least 2 people. You've seen this on White Shadow as well. You've got single berth, single pipe berth there, or not a pipe berth, just single bin, and rope bags. We've got another VHF down here which has got an AIS, because the Sailor doesn't have an AIS on it. You can see a little bit of tape there. That's just to knock out the access to the GPS coordinates. So again, an honor system. If you need it, you just rip it off. But we use that as an AIS receiver, as well as the one on the radar bits and pieces if we need it. And there's another electronic instrument there for multi instrument. Will give information on the log and the wind speed and so on. So you can sit in here or in this bunk, and you can control things if people are actually talking to you and so on. That's the vane head for the hydrovane if you ever needed it. Lots of rope bags everywhere, and heaps of storage underneath here. Mark will fit in there somewhere. And there's an access hatch at the back there to actually get into the steering flat, so you can actually look at the quadrant and check it while you're at sea. And one person is always allocated to do that, maybe once a week, and they're familiar with what they should be looking at, so you can see a bit quicker if something goes wrong. Now, we don't have the luxury of the beautiful Swan super sophisticated status symbol dunnies. We've just got a normal Jabsco dunny. But that's fine. Nice little compartment, got various ventilations and bits and pieces, and yeah, there's got the normal sink, and under here we've got the noisemaker. We've got the engine. Ooh, it's looking a bit dry, but it's all pretty cool. It's all working well. Just needs a bit of spray all over it to keep it looking really whoo, but it sounds all right. Apparently everything's still going.
Yep, no,
yeah, it's all still going. I didn't want to disturb you. You're meant to be working, Mark. What are you doing?
Well, we're leaving tomorrow, so
Yes.
we need to start to think about getting organised.
Yes, and I'm trying to keep out of the way. Anyway,
Right,
that's
that's
cool. All very good. We got a whole bunch of bins there. There's a box of cabbage, and a box of potatoes, and a box of flour. It's always a case of trying to work out where you're going to put things. You know,
And cassette tapes.
Cassette tapes, ooh, in their own spot. That's pretty cool. Okay, but yeah, it's looking very, very
No,
cool.
good. The floorings really work well.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yep.
this gear on bare
Yeah,
feet.
it's an,
And we put a few mats around here because it gets a
Yep.
bit slippery when wet,
Yep.
just at the bottom of the
yeah.
companionway. But it's fantastic, and
Yep.
you can pad around and in bare feet in the tropics, and when it's wet, we wear Crocs.
Yeah.
And it keeps your socks dry.
No, it's all very good. We took the original Swan floorboards out and wrapped them up in foam, and they're all back in Les Sables d'Olonne. So this will be the OGR floor. It's all just standard plywood with EVA foam on it.
It can be
It's very
screwed
cool.
down. That's the whole
Yeah,
point.
they're screwed down, so if you're going to roll over or knock down or something, then it's all done. Okay, that's enough for the aft cabin. I'm just rolling it through. This isn't live, this is a pre-record, so it's all a bit boring. Oh, look at that, custom-built, handmade racks for the veggies, onions and bits and pieces, so that's
Made
cool.
in the sub.
Oh, hello, who's are they? They look like 800
Oh, they
pants. Whoever owns them, you know the deal.
Okay.
That's exactly what we're looking for.
Unless they're Jenny's.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, anyway.
I bet Jenny
Yeah.
did the,
Oh, we'll talk about that later. Oh, someone's fishing. Look at that. They've got fish on here. Oh, just to keep the mood going, right? So that's all very good. Okay, coming forward, and then this is like the tunnel cabin. Again, 2 bunks here. This is the skinniest narrow bunk. That would have been where Stefano was the other day. Another one down below, which is quite comfortable, and plenty of big lockers in the back as well. Heaps of locker space, so that's cool. And on the other side, we've got another big twin cabin, two bunks, with a top bunk there. Lots of locker space in behind that, and then the lower one, again, pretty cool. And underneath there, we've got our desalinator, which is pouring out heaps of water. And you've normally got access into the head compartment there. That's a door going into the head forward. and very nice cabin. We've got various bits and pieces hanging up here. We use a lot of watertight, like waterproof bags, these yellow bags, to put different things into them, and then label them and store them and chuck them around. So, but the boat's looking quite good at the moment, so that's encouraging. And here's the other head, another boring average Jabsco Dunny. How embarrassing is that? We should have one of those fancy ones. But it is still, it's got the blue light there, but all of the varnish work is all still holding up. And up forward we've got the sail bin, which is always full. So we carry quite a few sails, and we picked up another couple of sails from a guy who gave us 2 perfect spinnakers for brand new, virtually, from Swan 57 that didn't quite make it, and I was happy to get them. So then there's this little workspace in between the two, lots of locker space there. You can see that hanging up, little bench space there. All looking very cool. It's good to see the boat again. I'm feeling, I can get this back soon, and then we'll work out what we're going to do. But anyway, yeah, the cabin sole has worked out well, EVA foam. And even when everyone's in their bunk, you can see you've got 2 seats here. You can put 2 people there, and 1, 2, 3 people sitting on the other side. So we've got a full watch. You've got 5 people can be seated together here, having a bit of fun. So this is actually, it's not as luxurious as a Vrica, but it's quite nice because it's not overstaffed, you might say. We have 2 people port side forward, 2 people port side, starboard side forward, so there's 4, another 4 people in the saloon here, and 2 people down the aft cabin, so you've got 10, and if we go to 11, then you're actually hot bunking. So the galley, looking very cool. The galley's looking okay. Got a beautiful 4-burner gas stove there. Jesus, still looking tidy, Mark. What happened?
Jill cleaned it.
Eh?
Jill cleaned
Jeepers,
it.
I'm happy to see
3
that.
days in there.
Yeah, that's perfect. Really good galley, you know. It's a real seagoing galley because you've got an L shape. You know, you can brace yourself up against the back here, and got big rails around it, and plenty of lockers. You know, they're massive behind those sliding doors there. And we've got big fridge and freezers here. You can access them from the side or the top. The typical stainless steel double sink for a Swan. The breathers here, various breathers for the tanks there as well. This is the one bit that gets the hammering, but we'll revarnish all this later on. This is just all the pots and pans and bits and pieces, but the rest of it's all looking okay, and they're looking reasonably organised, so that's a good thing. Happy to see all of that. This is the banana lounge. So again, buckets and bins, bananas, lemons, oranges. It's always about trying to, where do you put the fresh food. Not sure what the blue bags are. They look like clothing and bits and pieces. So all very nice. It's a pretty, this is a luxurious boat. This is one of the better boats, having looked at all the others. Wonder who owns this. Interesting. I didn't bring. Oh, I did. So tell us all about it, Mark. You enjoying yourself?
Yeah. Look, 3 legs down, 1 to go. It's gone so quickly.
Yeah.
It's interesting being in a bigger boat compared to the GGR in a 10-meter boat. You know, we're on a 150 miles is a mild day, and 200 miles is a good day. Whereas the GGR is a little less than that. So
just a little.
And also the capacity of people on board to keep the boat going and fly kites at night under all being fully manned all the time. But it's a little social experiment. You know, we've got 9 or 10 or 11 people in a little tin can, and we're living together for 6 weeks at a time. It's more like a mission to Mars. And it's quite fun actually, and so I've seen, my background's Navy, so I'm used to crewed vessels, but seeing going around single-handed and going around like this, it's completely different.
Which is the better?
Well, to be honest with you, I quite like the social element of going around with a crew, and but also being skipper is a lot of fun, and having people to do stuff, and being able to. Train them up. I've got a lot of captive people to learn astronavigation, and they learn it whether they want to or not. And we have a lot of questions about things that are really good. And how far do you go in 6 minutes at 7.5 knots? Things like that, and 18 minutes at 7.5 knots. And young Catherine is really good. She's really sharp on all that sort of stuff. So it's really good to to have that the banter and the thing of having additional people on board. Doesn't come without its problems.
Yeah.
But people are people, and but I think on balance, it's good to do. It's good to do different things.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. I just found that
yeah.
weather facts. I forgot about it.
Yeah. No, it's
So-
it's good. North Atlantic's really good.
Yeah.
You get lots of stuff there, and it's a bit shy. And we use the HF and Passage Guardian in New Zealand and whatever. Sorry, I've just got passport shoved in there at the moment, but there's the
I
HF.
thought that was your undies.
Yeah, no, I thought the safest place for
Yeah, it's an icon.
passports
Yep,
is in there.
absolutely.
That's really good. It's really good, and we get our weather signals off there. We've got buddy chats. We've got some, the best, the really good radios were Cape Town Radio. Australia is fantastic. Walloona and Charleville cover you from the mid-Indian over to New Zealand, but you can hear Walloona and Charleville anywhere in the world. You get them on 8 or 12 megs in the evening, and you can hear the voice come through, and so I can listen to the Tasmanian forecast if I wish.
Okay, so here's the deal. When I mentioned to you about, hey Mark, how'd you like to do the OGR? First of all, before I got you to answer, I said you're not going to get paid. You're a volunteer, and you grabbed it straight away.
Yeah.
Right. You grabbed it straight away. Why?
Well, because I knew I wanted to do it. I mean, these things don't require thinking about, and to be honest, it wasn't really on my radar because I was still sailing coconut home for the GGR, and so I was sort of busy and whatever. But look, to be honest, I've driven ships around the ocean and whatever, and that's a lot of fun, and I've taken a 10-metre boat around the world. But it was really the opportunity of taking, firstly, to skipper a Swan 57 and take it through workups, Breskins, but all that stuff in the North Sea, going up the Solent, going to La Sabre, going through the Bay of Biscay. That's all, in a day's work for people who are European based. But for an Australian, you read about this stuff, but you don't do it and see it.
Yeah.
So the opportunity to mess around in the UK, Holland, Netherlands, France, Channel is actually wonderful.
Yeah.
And then you overlay it with the OGR and all the history, which is just as rich as the GGR, if not richer.
Yeah.
Because the OGR went over many editions. The GGR was a single event that we remember and celebrate. Yeah. So there's all that history and whatever, and it was a matter of getting up to speed and learning it all and whatever. But it's a lot of fun sailing a big classic boat around the world, and I wouldn't miss it for anything.
Yeah, cool. No, you're doing a great job. So you're still here, one leg to go. This could be the worst leg of the lot. It's going to be hot. It's going to be on the nose and water and.
Yeah, that's all in a day. I think it can be a more unpredictable leg than the others. Certainly, I always find the Indian Ocean hard work. I think the Pacific was fantastic. We had a really good run, and I think we had more weather than most, but it was really good compared to my last trip. My last trip along at 47 South was beautiful, but once I dipped below 50, I got clobbered repeatedly. And here we did it beautifully, but also this is a bigger, powerful boat. You get the Storm Staysail up and the Storm Trysail and two reefs in the mizzen, and it's blowing 40, 50 knots up the clacker, and she's well under control, sailing beautifully. It's really nice. Sometimes you get the wave on the quarter and throws you around a little bit, but she's a big, powerful boat, and you can just see it's pleasurable. I stick my head out. And have a look and go, oh, there's a big wave. Well, look at that one. It's really good. And you see, there's a video of Catherine and Jill on the helm doing their thing, and the waves, great. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Don't want this to go too far. So do you think you'll be? No. What's next? What's next for you? Once we get the boat settled wherever it's going to go, what's next? Go get coconut.
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, I haven't given a lot of thought. With Cape Horn ahead of you, you don't think of anything else.
Yeah.
So you've got to think about getting around Cape Horn. To be honest, on this leg, I'm going to have to give thought to that. And I've given you an undertaking that we'll go and put the boat wherever you want to put it, and we'll settle it down. And then the plan is
have fun.
I don't know. There are options. I take coconut through the Panama back to Australia. I cruise the west coast of the US. I thought, will doors open as a result of this? I don't know, probably not. But I basically, anything can be considered. I don't have any locked in plans, and the default plan is to take coconut, to ABC, Venezuela. Sorry,
Yeah.
not Venezuela, Colombia,
Yeah.
through the Panama across the Pacific. That's
Yeah.
that's the backup plan.
Yeah.
But or anything else that comes to mind.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Well, the boat looks good. Jeepers. We get it back one day. Then I want to say, what are we going to do with it now? But anyway, we'll be doing 27 again for sure. So very cool. All right, one last look and then I'm going to shut it down.
And we got here. I can show you here.
we?
I've got the Cape Horn barograph
Oh, yeah.
trace. So pull that off. I wrote it on.
Oh, yeah.
There's Cape Horn there,
Yeah.
and there's the blow just before Cape
Oh,
Horn.
yeah. Yep.
So
That's
it's
cool.
a steep thing going up
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and that was Cape Horn there.
Yeah.
And I've just let it run round and round and round because
Yep,
I'm
yep.
lazy.
That's cool.
But
Very good. No, that's what you do. Saves the paper. This is my BOC barograph. Ooh, I used to use that as a Geiger counter. Every time I got knocked down, you see a click, click. When I
Right.
got rolled over, it was a classic. I cut the paper. Anyway, that's another story.
and we've also got your chart of the world here.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
annotated that every week
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
exactly.
So that
Yeah,
exists.
very cool. All right, I'll steal the mic and then we'll go and see what we do. Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
Don.
keeping it all together. And I'm going to climb back out here now. Thanks, Terry. Oh, good. Terry's chief mate. And we'll see if we can get out of here. Yes, they're airing out the pillows. More ropes. We buy more ropes than Africa, but it's all cool. So yeah, nice little cockpit. We've got the smallest wheel in the fleet and the coolest boat in the fleet. That's what I reckon anyway. So I gotta watch this microphone here and then get off the boat without dropping it. And I can't do that yet, but I can now. So there's Jane over there. So I'm gonna switch this around here now and say goodbye. So we'll, not sure how many boats we've got left to get yet. So we'll see. Thanks for that. Here's one last squiz at the fleet down here. Allspice Yachting, that boat's for sale as well. Get on to Jarrett. That's a pretty good deal. Swan 53, the same as Sterner. And yeah, she's